Hello and welcome to Everything Fear, your one-stop shop for all things horror. I'm Kit Tinsley. I'm a horror author, film academic and general horror geek. Today is episode 16 in our ongoing series A Life in Horror. In this series, I look at every year that I've been alive and pick my top 5 horror movies of that year. This week, it's the year 1993. Number 5, Return of the Living Dead, Part 3. The second Return of the Living Dead sequel is quite a different beast from the first two movies. This time, directed by Brian Yuzuna, the film ditches a lot of the comedic aspects of the first two movies and instead focuses on the horror and science fiction elements, along with romance, bizarrely. Kurt and his girlfriend Julie steal his father's key to the top secret military base he works at. There, they observe a corpse being revived with trioxin gas. Afterwards, they get into a terrible motorcycle accident that kills Julie instantly. Heartbroken, Kurt takes her to the lab and uses the trioxin gas to revive her. This leaves Julie unable to feel pain and not wanting to eat normal food. Soon she becomes hungry and starts to kill people for their brains. The army want to use Julie and the zombie she creates as a weapon. Kurt, however, kills Julie and then himself in a furnace, the two dying in each other's arms. The film has an odd, romantic tone that really separates it from the first two movies. Though not as funny, this is still a really entertaining movie. Number 4, Trauma. Though not a patch on his earlier movies, Trauma marks Dario Argento's return to the giallo. It was with these violent precursors to the slasher genre that the Italian legend made his name, with movies like Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Four Flies on Grey Velvet and Deep Red. In the late 70s though, he branched off into more supernatural territory, with movies like Suspiria, Inferno, Phenomena. The last giallo he had made had been Tenebrae in 1982. Trauma was a very Americanized movie for Dario Argento, having been filmed in Minneapolis and having American producers. The movie starred his daughter, Asia Argento, as a young woman with anorexia in a psychiatric hospital, where a series of gruesome murders begin that seem to be connected to her and her past. The film was described by critics as being bizarre and convoluted to the point of distraction. Though definitely not up to the standard of his earlier giallos, Trauma does manage to entertain with its extreme kills. Number 3, Body Bags. This film has an interesting backstory. Directed by John Carpenter and Tobe Hooper, it was originally conceived as a theme for a series in the style of Tales from the Crypt for Showtime. However, quite early in filming, Showtime pulled their funding, and so it was decided to edit all 3 episodes together into one portmanteau movie, with a linking story starring Carpenter himself as a creepy coroner. Though not exactly groundbreaking in any way, the 3 stories are definitely entertaining. And Carpenter is superb in the wraparound stories, making for a really creepy host. Also, the film has some amazing cameos from David Norton from American Werewolf in London, as well as Sam Raimi and Wes Craven. Number 2, The Dark Half. One of several collaborations between Stephen King and George A. Romero. Based on the novel of the same name by King, it's the story of Thad Beaumont, a writer of literary novels who for years has been writing gritty, violent crime thrillers under the name George Stark to make money. When someone tries to blackmail Thad, threatening to reveal that he is Stark, Thad decides to take matters into his own hands and admits that he was George Stark all along. Revealing the truth, he decides to kill off his alter ego. However, George Stark doesn't want to die and is soon killing off those who want to get rid of him. Based in part on King's own experiences writing under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, The Dark Half is an interesting, well-acted and well-made 90s horror movie. If you enjoy this video, if you could please subscribe, give us a like and maybe tickle that bell icon to be notified when we upload future content, that would be great, thank you. Number 1, Chronos. This Mexican horror movie is the debut feature of writer-director Guillermo del Toro. Chronos is an interesting take on the vampire story, linking it to famous alchemist Nicholas Flamel. Flamel was an alchemist in the 1500s, who claimed to have created the Philosopher's Stone, that allowed people to live forever. Flamel has been mentioned in many movies from As Above So Below to the Harry Potter series. In Chronos, the alchemist has created a device that looks like a brooch that turns into a clockwork bug and attaches itself to your neck. It gives you eternal life, but in exchange, you must feed it human blood. The film is full of the strong, strange visual style we've come to know and love from Del Toro, as well as his usual pathos. The film was definitely a sign of the great things he would go on to produce. Well, thank you very much. That was my top 5 horror movies of 1993. What were yours? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, stay scared and stay tuned.